What is going on, guys? Money Webby here, back again on Monday, coming off another great night with the plays on Saturday night. Had some tremendous value with Nikolai Mirotic first off, dropping 50 DraftKings points at only 5,100, so nearly 10 times value out of him. Then we had Kyle Quinn at 5,900, dropping 52 DraftKings points, so like 8 times value out of him. And then Jabari Parker with 42 DraftKings points at only 5,600. So all of those guys returned a ton of value. Also, our value guy Damian Dotson at 3,100 got 24 DraftKings points. So some tremendous value with those four guys. Two guys that disappointed though was Russell Westbrook. Threw up a lot of shots, but most of them just like weren't dropping in that game. So only got 22 points in that one. Very disappointing out of him. And then Chris Middleton put up 22 shots. They only hit 8 of them in a pretty easy matchup. I think they were playing New York in that one. Yeah, they were playing New York, and he wasn't able to hit many shots in that one. So that kind of sucked. But the rest of the guys just carried the load and had crazy good nights. So drop a like in the video if you ran out any of those guys to get a ton of value there. And let's try to have another good night. The last 2 nights of videos for the NBA have absolutely been insane. Crazy calls across the board. So let's try to keep it going here with some more fire. Let's just hop right into it. I'm going to go with one of my favorite players in the NBA, Nikolai Jokic. This guy's extremely underrated. He's at home here in Denver. The guy is money at home. If you look at the splits here, 47 drafting points on average compared to only 42 on the road, and he's been on a tear like none other recently. 63 drafting points, 52, 58, 65, 58, and 68 on this playoff run. He's just been a man possessed. So I think we'll keep it going here. Going against Portland, this should be one of the most competitive, high-scoring games on the slate. So I think Jokic is a great target here. I think he's a lock for 50-plus drafting points. His shot totals have been going up. His minutes have been going up. Everything trending up. Usage has been crazy. He got a triple-double last game against the Clips. So I think he can flirt with the triple-double again in this game in Denver where the guys is money in the bank. So lock him in there. So for my second guy, mentioned I'm looking at this game a lot. I'm going to stack the other side of the ball with the 2 best players in this game. Damian Lillard at 9,700. A great matchup going against Jamal Murray. Not a great defender. Lillard, he's been doing pretty damn well against San Antonio. To be able to drop 33 points against them, that's very impressive. So a much lighter and better kind of game flow for Lillard here. I think he can approach 50 DraftKings points in this one. He's been playing very well recently. Like I mentioned, just in DraftKings points, like standards, like 49, 54. 2 out of the last 3 games. That's great numbers there. So I think he can approach that 50-point total in this game. Like I said, it's projected to be a high-scoring game. A great matchup for Lillard, and he's been shooting a lot. I think he'll put up 20-plus shots again in this game, honestly, if it stays close throughout. He got a few less minutes the last game against San Antonio because it did get a little bit unreachable to get the win there last game. And this is a good kind of like playoff atmosphere to get Lillard and the Blazers ready for the playoffs. So I think this is a good game for him to have. And I think Lillard is going to be carrying the load here. So lock him in there. For my third guy, Joe Harris, in a great spot here, going against Chicago. They can't defend anyone, first off. They're playing all these scrub kind of players. And now we have Karis LeVert and Damari Carroll out for this game. So I think Joe Harris is going to have another big game here. Did very well against Chicago just last game with 37 drafting points, 6 for 9 for the field. So he's definitely capable in this matchup. I think over similar kind of game with over 30 DraftKings points again and some more minutes on his plate. Like I mentioned, with those 2 guys out, they really need that shooting guard and wing kind of position, and Joe Harris can fill both of those voids. So he's a great spot here. He's a younger player. Want to keep him going here in this game against Chicago. A great matchup. So I think we'll have another good game here. So Joe Harris, lock him in there. And for my fourth guy, we're going to go with the Knicks now. Michael Beasley, maybe a little bit more of a GPP play, considering he's kind of up and down. But this game against the Cavs, it's a tremendous matchup. We know they kind of struggle against these small forward, power forward kind of positions. And he's been on a roll except the last game against Milwaukee. That was disappointing, but his shot totals and like how much he's been scoring 3 out of the last 4 games have been crazy, and those have kind of been tougher matchups, honestly, than compared to the Cavs. So I think at 6,200, considering the usage and everything that's been going on for him recently, I think he can have another big game here as long as he gets the minutes. You never know with the Knicks coach. Sometimes he wakes up on the wrong side of the bed, and then he just kind of like plays these random guys that you don't expect him to play. But if Beasley gets on fire here, it looks like they're going to keep him in the game. Like, his minutes have been pretty consistent recently, besides that game against Milwaukee, probably because he wasn't hitting many shots at all. So if he can just get some shots to drop, which he should be able to against Cleveland here, I think he can have a great game here. So lock him in there. He has the upside to reach 40-plus DraftKings points in any game, and especially in that matchup. And for my fifth and final play, Montrezl Harrell, this guy's really impressed me this year. Every time I've seen him play, the guy is just flying around the court, playing great basketball. Now that they're out of the playoff contention, I think they can give him more run. I think they'll probably give DeAndre Jordan less minutes and kind of give him a little bit of rest, meaning Montrezl Harrell can get some good minutes here. And he's been getting pretty solid minutes, even 2 out of the last 3 games of 25 and 26 minutes there. And he's been, whenever the guy gets minutes, it seems like he's putting up a lot of drafting points. So if he can get like 30-plus minutes in this game, or not 30-plus, but like around 30, I think he can have like honestly 30-plus drafting points in this game. And he's been playing pretty well against New Orleans in only 3 games, averaging 17 minutes per game, and he still has 22 drafting points on average. So with some more minutes probably on his plate in this game, I think he can return good value at only 4,700. Like I said, they're out of playoff contention, nothing to play for. Might as well give Montrezl Harrell some extra reps here, see what he got, because I think he might be the future of the team, considering that DeAndre Jordan looks like he might be on the way out. So maybe Montrezl Harrell is their starting center next year, if that's even possible. Maybe he's a little bit too small, or probably starting power forward, honestly, and then they'll put Tobias Harris maybe back to the small forward role. But we'll see. I think Montrezl Harrell, though, a good spot here, going against New Orleans, so lock him in there. That gets you up to 4,700 remaining per player with the core 5, Damian Lillard, Joe Harris, Michael Beasley, Montrezl Harrell, and Nikola Jokic. And from my value guy of the day, the lottery ticket, Tyrone Wallace. Some guys are going to be out for this game with the Clippers out of playoff contention. Lou Williams is currently doubtful, and now Austin Rivers is questionable with like an elbow injury or something like that. I kind of forget what it is, but I bet both of those guys will be out for this game, meaning Tyrone Wallace should be able to get 30-plus minutes, honestly, in this game. Going against New Orleans, a team that kind of struggles against guards in general and defending them. So I think we'll have a good game here, and he's been another guy that's been very consistent when he gets a solid minutes. And now that those kind of like their main kind of scores from the guard position are out, I think he'll be putting up some more shots, being more aggressive on the offensive end. They're going to need someone to score. So I think Tyrone Wallace will be one of those guys. And he should have a solid game. Like in these games when he's putting up shots, against Phoenix, he had 2 good games there with over 30 minutes and around 28 and 33 drafting points. And he played very well against New Orleans earlier this year in 32 minutes, 36 drafting points. Not sure if he's going to be able to get up to 36 drafting points in this game, but I think he can get 30 plus, honestly, considering the opportunity. And at 4,500, he's a steal at that price, so lock him in there. Gets you up to 4,800 remaining per player, and that is it for the video. Also, like I mentioned, though, with the Clippers and all those guys out, I was considering Tobias Harris at 6,900, but I'm a little bit concerned. He might get less minutes in that game, considering they're out of playoff contention, but maybe a GPP throw in there. Then I was going to Marshawn Brooks. Got to give him some love again at 6,200. The guy's has been a man on a mission as well. 38 drafting points last night. He came off the bench, though, but that's kind of interesting. So Marshawn Brooks, guy will probably return at least 5 times value yet again tonight. But that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed. You can drop a like on the video if you did, and subscribe if you are new here to get these NBA plays for the remainder of the season. I got MLB drafting picks coming out every day as well, so you can go check out those plays right now. I hope you guys enjoyed. I wish you guys the best of luck. 9-game slate. Let's keep it going here tonight. Some crazy plays the last 2 videos. Let's make it a third. The lucky third time's a charm. So good luck tonight. See you back here again tomorrow.